educator. When I call your name, please come forward to accept a personalized pen to commemorate your tenure. And families who are here are welcome to step forward and take a picture of the recipient or the Board of Education President, Mr. Riazzi, and our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Rohrbeck. Please congratulate Jamie Temple.
Hey, come on, you came. Get on up there. Elementary ed? Yep, 1 through 6. Yeah.
Okay, moving on in the agenda, we have our business office recommendations, our treasurer's report, revenue and appropriations, surplus textbooks, treadmill, insurance recovery, which is always nice. So can I have a motion to accept items H, 1 through 6? Rapport, seconded. Mr. Meyer, any questions on any of these items? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Board action items. Our CSC and CPSE, our 504 recommendation, everyone. Solutions. Appointment of our high school board representatives from the senior high class. And then included in here is, just for board members as well, is voting on that, the Smart Bond Act that we opened up at the beginning of the meeting, so. Okay, so can I have a motion for items I 1 through 12?
I'll move it.
By Mr. Meyer, seconded by Mr. Wells. Any questions on any of these items? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, moving on to our committee reports. Ms. Bellarosa, we'll start with audit.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Policy.
Nothing to report?
Okay. Facilities.
Yeah.
Michelle is not here. I will mention on facilities, as we move into August, we are going to start reviewing our business condition surveys, which were done a couple of years ago, and looking through them, really kind of being led by Mr. Prince on kind of, and the purpose of that is as we start to craft and pull together another capital project. What's included in those, what are the must-haves, what are things that have to be in there. So that's going to be a major effort of the facilities committee over the next few months. So that's it on the committees. Second, public recognition. So now there's another public recognition. I really like to address the board on any topic. Come on up. Just state your name and where you live, and have 3 or 4 minutes. Begin.
This is the mic?
That's the mic, and you can sit, stand, whatever is more comfortable.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Huh? And did you sign in?
I did, yeah.
You did, right? That's
Yeah.
why I saw that. Yeah, that way. There you
On?
go. No, little switch there.
On?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Hello.
We got you.
Hi, everyone. I am Stephanie Bassler. I'm a member of the town council in Saugerties, and I'm here during this part of your meeting to follow up on some communications that I've had with a few of the trustees of the Board of Education and on moving into without being asked, but on behalf of considerations around the sale of the Mount Marion School. And what I mean to offer as a town council member is support of your considerations around that sale. And I'm doing this because well, for several reasons, but I speak as a liaison to the Housing Advisory Committee with the town, and that committee, on learning of the sale of the school, wanted to urge or support discussion of the school's potential reuse as affordable housing, or housing of any sort really, which is sorely needed in the town. And what my interest in supporting conversation about this has turned into is conversations with people who are already doing this work work of this sort in the county. And I'm here with Robert Drake, who is a council member in the town of Shandaken, and where the Phoenicia Elementary School has moved into this consideration for adaptive reuse as, I believe, as affordable housing. And I have spoken with several people at the county. Dennis Doyle in the planning department has been supportive of the process in the town of Shandaken and for the Onteora School District, and their understanding of what that might look like for that school. And the Deputy County Executive, James Amenza, has expressed support for the town of Saugerties and the school district in Saugerties to offer information about what this looks like for school districts and generically, and what this might look like specifically for Saugerties and the districts and the Board of Education's particular considerations about the sale and what the goals of that are. So I'm as a town council member, I'm conscious of my arm's length, at least from your process and your jurisdiction over this, but I also feel very empowered by the Housing Advisory Committee's support of this just as an idea, and I hope that the Board of Education, the trustees can also hear that the county is demonstrably supportive of this kind of project from the very earliest phases, which is, what is it? What does it look like? Is it right for Saugerties? And so Robert, who will also speak a little bit after I'm finished, well, he can describe what it's been like maybe, but also who has supported and what kind of shape that takes. And then I would just invite the board to consider a next step, which would be more of a directed conversation where these resources, which have already said we're here to help, could be brought to a table and have conversations with stakeholders and policy makers and deciders for this particular issue. And who those people are is, I know of some of them, I've just named them, but it could be a larger group, and I'm subject to the process that this board thinks would be appropriate for how to consider this. So I'm recognizing that during this part of the meeting, I only have a few minutes, and so I'm just kind of speeding through this for that reason, but there's certainly a lot more to talk about and a lot that the region can offer and be supportive of the district and the Board of Education. So I'll just hand it over to Robert.
Good evening, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Robert Drake. I'm the Deputy Supervisor within the town of Shandaken. And I'm here, obviously with that as a background, but in large part because I'm very much sympathetic to how challenging the conversations can be, both around housing, around closing schools, around adaptive reuse, around all of that process. And to the extent that this is of any value to you, what I can indicate is that within the town of Shandaken, both our comprehensive plan, many of our regional conversations at the governmental level, of course, about the challenges of housing, and then the counterpart conversation at the Ontario School District was around what housing means for students. And there were challenges and issues of students and families being unable to find housing within the district and being forced to leave the district because they were unable to find affordable housing. And so there was overlapping interest between us, which became the initiation of conversations that ultimately have gotten to where things are now. Where that is a determination of the school board, not my place to speak for them, but I believe this has all been within public meetings, that the conveyance of a school to a township is permissible for a public use under Education Law 405, and that affordable housing was determined, again, mutually by the town board and school board as being a valid public use. And then with the assistance of Deputy County Executive Amenta, that mentioned Planning Department and others, a resolution on part of the school board to work in partnership with the town, resolution on the town's part to work with the school, and then ultimately an agreement to allow prospective developers to present possible plans. And that's where things stand currently. We are currently on contract with RUPCO, the Rural Ulster Preservation Authority, to develop a plan that will be presented initially to the town. And if that meets the town's broader goals, as well as the school district's goals, the expectation is that there may be a referendum next May that would authorize the school district to do the conveyance. That is obviously a very quick summarized version of how a very complicated process could possibly go. I am not terribly familiar with your specific situation, but I hope that provides some level of assistance. I wanted to hopefully be able to impart some information. I'm happy to be a resource to whatever extent that is valuable. Or again, there are other county individuals who are probably even better for that. Again, I hope that was worth your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, we have one board discussion item. Dr. Haas, if you'd like to start this one, lead this one. It's about our professional development of the Board of Ed.
Yeah, I just wanted to get this on one of our meetings. It doesn't have to be something that we discuss in executive session, and we all just sort of need to think about it together. So the Board of Ed gets professional development, their required trainings, and I thought this was a good time to talk about it too, because we have new board members. So you'll see there the Vector Solution Board Governance Training, and actually we just approved the Vector contract to provide that training earlier in this meeting. So that is required for all of us. And who else has to take that? Is that everybody? Everybody in the district has to take that training. So I highly recommend that you do it so that Virginia doesn't have to chase you down or ask me to chase you down. I am the worst culprit. It took me like 1.5 years to get it done the first time. I don't know how Jerry let me get away without doing it. I just came coming into my email and I didn't know it was for me. I was like, oh, that's training for, I don't know, that's the district. So anyway, it's for us, and you know, you just plug away at it. And it's great information about a lot of details, right? There are a lot of details that go into people working together in schools with kids. And so that's a very useful training. There is also the state mandated training for governance and for financial our fiduciary responsibilities. So those are two pieces. Those are offered online. They do offer in person, right? But you can see there that we have a budget of $3,000 for all 9 of us to get PD this year. And so I think we're not deciding here today what we're all doing, but I just wanted to sort of put it in everybody's head publicly and answer any questions people might have about it. Those trainings don't cost, the mandated ones are not, come at no cost. Virginia will get you set up and send you the information you need for that. I think we should, anyway, maybe we can discuss it. I think we should ideally do those trainings online as we can. And those are required for Alex and Andrea. Then there are optional trainings that NISBA offers, right? They offer a whole series of webinars all year, which I highly recommend that you just get on their little newsletter thing that sends you that information. And then in the summer, so within the next couple of weeks, is the law conference, which is a one-day affair up in Albany. If you're really interested in policy or law, that is a great, because that really drives the work we do. We've all just sworn to the Constitution, which is what all the laws sort of come from. So, and then there's the leadership conference. So, which is that a 2-day? You did that last year.
Yep.
Yep. So, and that I think is a really, I mean, you can speak to that more recently than I can in terms of its value. Anyway, so we need to sort of all think about that together. If there are things that you see that you want to do, send it to, I guess, Virginia, and then we'll figure out the budget for how we do that, right? So there's also the convention, and so the costs for us as a board, I mean, ideally, the school can cover whatever our costs are, but the convention is in October, it's in Buffalo. So I know somebody who's got some family in Buffalo. But the travel ends up with costs, right? And so as we're thinking about this, I think if there are things that people want to go away for, to sort of think about, like, well, what can you afford to sort of go away and pay for? And then the conference fees and stuff would then come out of this budget if there are things that people really want. But if that's not possible, then we can sort of think about how we divvy that up.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else on that topic? Anybody have any questions? Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, please.
Okay. So I understand that there are limited funds and other courses that will be of interest and possibly more valuable. These 2 courses that I have to take are mandated for new board members. I'd like to take them in August. It's both practical and educationally responsible, not only for myself, but as a learner, but also for the students that will be in my classroom come September 2nd. The virtual courses are over the course of 3 days. If anyone is unaware, for a secondary ed teacher, my half day is 11 a.m. These courses would require me to take 3 days away from my students. The approach of me taking them over the summer in August, while I'm not obligated to be in the classroom, supports both my volunteer commitment to effective board government, as well as my professional responsibility to provide consistent instruction to my students. That being said, if it complies with district policy, as I am aware there are limited funds, I'm willing to voluntarily pay the cost beyond the $280 allocated for the virtual session, which is $250. It's a worthwhile investment as it best supports my learning style and enables me to fulfill the training requirements before the school year starts, thereby avoiding any disruption to my students' instruction.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk about it. Go in. Okay, anybody else on that topic? All right. Okay. We're going to recess an executive session, and I can tell everybody in the audience when we come back out, we're not going to vote on anything else. So your portion is basically adjournment. So can I have a motion to recess into exec session? By Dr. Wells.
Well, yeah.
By Alex. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.